Okay. Hey everybody, it's your boy Big James, and I'm back. I'm back for another review of Ready to Love Last Resort Episode 2. Sorry about the first episode. I didn't mean for it to be that long. It just turned out like that, but I swear, from now on, I'm going to try to keep them shorter than that. I don't want them to be that long. I know that's probably a long watch, and I don't like doing that. I don't want to make nobody else do that. So, sorry. I'm a little tired now. I just left the gym. I came home. I said, I'm going to go ahead and do this before I shower and go on about the rest of my day. So I'm going to just go ahead and get this done. I'm funky, but y'all can't tell. But enough of that. Let's get to the review. On Last Resort, on this episode, it's when they all get together. They're all coming to the resort to meet each other and get to talking and do all that. The episode's not really laid out in any kind of format. It's just all jumbled together. So what I'm saying probably gonna be all jumbled together too, because it was just people just going around talking. So that's what's going on. The first to arrive is Calfani. Uh, I don't know if being first is good or bad. I guess it's good. You get to watch everybody else show up, and you're already there. Uh, he got him some. They had champagne and water available. I've never heard this expression. I'm gonna go get some water, but I like it. And whenever the women were done with a dude, they said, I'm gonna go get some water. And they left. And if you was dumb enough to say, hey, could you give me some too? Your ass was gonna die of thirst before they came back with you a fucking glass of water. It wasn't happening. That I'm gonna get some water was essentially bye bitch. And I've never heard that before. I've never seen that before, but it was the thing was that all of them did it. So it must be a thing in Houston or in Texas or something, because I've never heard that before. And it was hilarious to see these dudes just standing there talking to the lady, and she's like, "I'm gonna get some water," and she was gone. It was just, I'm gonna get some water. Excuse me, and she was gone. It wasn't no getting some. She was getting the fuck away from you. But I digress. Joy comes next. And Joy says she meets California. She's impressed by all the muscles because he's the bodybuilder guy. And she tells him that she's not looking for a fixer up. She says she ain't no Olivia Pope or Black Men. She's not trying to fix nobody up. She needs you to be ready for her right then. Understandable. Edwin shows up next, and Edwin is he's kind of laid off in the back in the cut, and he hears Joy and California talking about food, and Edwin's a shit. He comes in and says, I'm a cook. And Joy immediately just like, to hell with you, California. This guy can cook. California looked like he was kind of in his feelings about that because, she pretty much just blew him off with somebody who's not physically up to his standards. But he got over it because more people showed up. There was more women for him to talk to. If she was the only woman, he probably would have got more pissed, but more women showed up, so he was fine. Denise comes. She just a lot of attitude. She said she's 5'10". She said she got 5'10" attitude, a 5'10" heart, a 5'10" mind, a 5'10" love. She's a big woman, and you have to deal with all this 5'10" of her. Okay. She's real aggressive too. Uh, and people didn't really like that about her, how aggressive she was. And it didn't come across well on camera either. So everybody starts showing up. They all start coming in, and Adriana is the last one to show up. Adriana is 31, and when she comes in, she points out how all the women that are there are watching her because they are. They're all look. She's the youngest girl there. She's beautiful. She's wearing like a purple dress that she's killing it, and all the guys very rudely stop what they're doing to look at her, to see her, and to talk to her. So she's kind of got a target on her from the other women because all the other women are older than her. I think Alex might be the only one that's the same age as her. But Alex doesn't look as young. Like Adriana looks young. She looks like she's not even in her 30s yet. So people were kind of like, a lot of the women were kind of in their feelings about Adriana. Winter, she got on this the god. She said she's the goddess. That's the church girl. She got on this just skin tight orange dress. She looks great in it, and everybody notices. They don't even know her name. They just call her like orange dress because she wearing that dress, y'all. She is wearing it. Alicia is there. Alicia, to listen to her talk, she comes across as real ghetto, real just hood, and her attitude reflects it, which is cool. Like I actually like that. I didn't think it was. It was just different. I guess it just stood out to me because it was different from every other woman there. They were all very like sophisticated, educated, and she is too. But she has that distinct like hood vernacular to her. She has that like the way her words and the way she talks, the way she walks, everything. You can tell she grew up on some rough streets, and nobody else gives that. Not even none of the dudes give that off. But she probably the most ghetto out of all of them, and it's cool. Like I don't really mind that at all about her. And she said she wants a big old muscle the blackest dude, chocolate dark black ass man. That's the kind of man she wants. So she has a preference. You see, they talking to Chris, and all the people are talking about Chris. Uh, KG Smooth, KG and Joy know each other because I guess they do events and things around Houston together. So she is like, "Oh, that's KG. I know him." And then they're talking, and she's telling him, "Oh, this is the girl you want. Oh, this is the girl. That's the girl. Oh, this is her name." And so she's like, so she's not interested in him at all, but she is trying to tell him what women he should talk to. And like all the women, they love him because they know him. He's on the radio, and they're like, "Oh, they love his voice." And he's standing there with no shirt. He was he was the most underdressed guy there. All the other guys had on like little suits, but no tie, like a suits and t-shirt stuff like that. Except David. David had on like some Bahama wear with like he was on the beach somewhere. He was at a resort basically. So David was dressed appropriately. David and Jay. Uh, Simone. Simone was a lot. She was rude too. She says she knows her, she knows what she wants, and she knows she's gonna either have one husband or five husbands. And yeah, I don't really know what that means. And I don't think she ever explained it. I'm sure it means something, but I'm just too ignorant to know what it means. But she put a lot of emphasis on it, and okay. Uh, Chris say his biological clock, KG Smooth. He say his biological clock is ticking. He wants to get married. He wants children before he gets too old, and he can feel it like he's in like a desperation mode. He's like I need to have a family. So I don't know what's going on with him, but if that's his motivation, then I guess he'll probably do pretty good on here. Tommy shows up. Tommy he talks to all the people. He get them together, and he tells them like, hey, it's 20 of you. At the end of this, it's going to be 6 of you. It's 6 of you left. 3 men, 3 women. And he says the bombshell is that today, 2 of you are going home. It's going to be 1 man and 1 woman leaving today. So he was like, y'all better put your best foot forward and, flirt hard or your ass up out of here. Which I thought was cool. I thought that was good because they put, instead of just, mingling and just talking, they actually had to accomplish something. They had to actually do something. So, yeah, I liked that. I liked that dynamic. So they go back to mingling and talking, but they have like more dry. They got to make good impressions on all the men got to impress all the women, and all the women got to impress all the dudes, so that you don't get voted out. So they're just, flirting with everybody, just big group flirts. The weirdest thing in the world was that some of the women would start taking their shoes off. And I didn't understand that. I didn't get it. I'm sure they all had valid reasons to do it, but you just met these dudes and you got your feet up on them. or they rubbing your feet. Like Winter said that the shoe was killing her, so she just took her shoes off, and she couldn't take her because she got on this tight ass dress. She couldn't take her shoes off, so she had to ask Edwin to take her shoes off. So he was like, so he got down on one knee like he proposing, and like people they joking about it, but he was like he just taking his shoes off. And I was like, man, maybe you shouldn't have wore those. Because I think Joy had on just sandals. Because you're walking around with but everybody else had on like freakum heels. So, and freakum dresses. Joy was dressed. Joy and Denise were dressed more casual. Like everyone else had on like club dresses. They were like real skin tight heels. But Joy and Denise really weren't like that. They were just had on like clothes you would really wear to a resort. They were actually dressed to go to a resort to hang out in the sun and stuff. But Denise took her shoes off too. Her and California went to go sit on a swing and talk, and she took her shoes off, and then she took her shoes off and put her feet on California. And he was like, yeah, that's okay. There's no way that you are literally talking to each other for the first time. This is your first time meeting, your first time talking, and she just put her feet in your lap. He said it was cool, but I don't know if that was really cool. But she did it again later to who was that she did that again to? Who was that guy? What was that guy's name? Anthony. She did it to Anthony, and she had him rub her feet because she said her feet were hurting because she'd been walking around in her heel. So he was like rubbing her feet. Like, I just met you. And he told her, he said, if I didn't like you, there's no way I'll be rubbing your feet. And she said she knows that. She's like, if you didn't like me, you wouldn't rub my feet. I'm like, even if I like it, but not day one, minute one, because you didn't wear appropriate footwear. Fuck that. No, you're not finna put your feet on me. Talk about a bad person. I guess, shit, I don't even know. Let me get off of that. Denise and Rashid are talking. And Rashid got just corny old man lines, and they just not hitting at all with Denise. And they were gonna drink some champagne, and she had a fly in her. I guess she had a bug in her champagne. So and, Rashid was like, "Oh, good, you can go and drink that anyway. The champagne, the liquor kill it, And Denise got pissed. She did not like that. She was like, "I'm not drinking shit with no bug in it." But he was just playing with her. But she wasn't playing. She was for real. Like, I'm not drinking this shit. And I guess she wanted him to get her another drink, but he didn't do it. She said, well, I'll get me another drink. So she went and got her another drink. And it was like, again, like, I don't know you. You're like, we are just now meeting for the first time. I don't know you from goddamn Eve. And then they started talking about because she went to Grambling. I think he went to AAU somewhere, some other HBCU. And he was saying, like, y'all never beat us. But she was like, well, I beat your girls in track, And she Denise just got real kind of funky with Rashid. She just was not feeling him at all. And she needed some water. She had a glass. She wasn't feeling him in the slightest bit at all. And she was just kind of rude to him, too. But he was just trying to play, lighten the mood up, because she was so serious that you could see she was very serious and intense. And, like, he wasn't the one. He wasn't doing it. She wanted California because she was talking. She went on and on about how fine California was. And everybody that wasn't California, she wasn't really feeling. So, shit. Chris was doing really good because all the ladies knew him from the radio. So they were all oppressed. They was all really just talking to him. He knew he wasn't going to get eliminated because everybody knew him. Everybody wanted to talk. They wanted to be around him. And he didn't have no shirt on. So they was all looking at his chest and messing with his chest, talking about why he wearing this pink suit and all this. So he was just, his wardrobe got him the attention that he needed. And the recognition, and so he was safe. He was good. Chris and Nia, they bonded. They got close over just talking. They were talking about just dating, like how she wanted a man to talk to her matched how he wanted to talk to a woman. They had both like this a real old school mentality about I'm gonna pursue you. You're a hunt. And she was like, yeah, I'm the prey. You the predator. Basically, what she was saying she wanted to do was equal to what he's saying he wanted to do to get a woman. So they matched on that. They like that, and then they bonded over like they both want kids. Like they both are like my biological clock is ticking. Like he is saying that, and she is saying that. So they're both looking for like a spouse and children. And that's not like everybody else. They're kind of like got kids and stuff like that, or divorced and everything like that, and they're not. So for them, that was a thing that really meant a lot to them. And something about bonding with the earth. They took their shoes off, both of them, and were just standing in the grass talking barefoot, saying they were connecting to the earth because they both believe in connecting to the earth with having your skin in connection with the ground and stuff. It was just they were vibing very hard. That was KG and Nia. Yeah, they were just. It wasn't weird. It was just strange because I'm on the fact that you just met each other. You just started talking, but I guess people can bond quick, and they bonded over the everything. They bonded on everything. So hey, moving on to the next person that we see that does anything was Simone. Simone was just out of pocket. She was she's the attorney, and she was just interrogating everybody. She was just asking them all kind of questions. She said she wanted a man that got money. If you got money and a passport, that's what you gotta have. So she's asking everybody, where you work, what you do, you have a passport, where you been, and all this other stuff. Like, here, where you going? Do you plan on going on a trip? She was just like, it wasn't flirting. It was like an interrogation. Like you're being questioned. She got the spotlight on you and asking you stuff that has nothing to do really with romance or love. It was like a background check. But that's how she does it, and she said that's how she's going to do it because she said I can't do that. We'll figure it out later. She said I can't pay bills with your abs. Which is true. She said if you got abs that you find, that ain't gonna keep one light on. I'm happy to give her that. But she was just rude. Like she was just rude to David. David is the country dude. She was just out of line with David. David was just like, I think she heard his accent and was already like, fuck you. You ain't shit to me. Like, cause she talked to him like he was ignorant. She talked to him like he didn't know nothing, like he didn't have no money. Like she like, do you have a passport? He's like, yeah, I got a passport. I travel. And he was like, I'm finna. And she's like, where you going? He was like, I'm going to the DR, Dominican Republic, later this year. And she's like, oh, you going for the hookers? He was like, what? She's like, are you going to get some hookers? And he was like, no, I ain't going to get no damn hookers. And she said, well, I used to live there. He said, well, was you hooking? She like, how dare you? He was like, well, you put them hookers on me? Shit, what the hell? Shit. You trying to get them hookers to me? I don't want them. Was you a hooker? Shit, you know so goddamn much about them. And David was right. Like, how you say that to somebody? Simone was just tripping. She really was. And then you saw Danny. Danny was talking to David, and they was because Danny is real cool. Danny is just very friendly. She's getting along great with everybody. And her and David was talking, and David was like, "Oh no, he ain't really into city girls." And Danny was like, "Well, I ain't been a city girl all my life. Just I've been there recently, but I ain't been. I was in the country, then I moved to the city." So she said she kind of bougie, kind of country. And they started the whole buku. He said, "Oh, you buku, you bougie country," which was funny. That was cool. It was like they was all cracking up on that because that was funny. Sam is next. Sam had no business being here because he was more reserved. He was more shy, quiet. He was he took his time. He wasn't very overtly flirtatious. He just talked, and he was talking to I think Shay, and he was talking to her. He's telling her, he quit his job working as a corporate office to be an artist. He wanted to do something that he loved, and she was like, "Oh, I'm a chef. I'm a personal chef." And he was talking to her about how she ever wanted to quit her job and go do something else because her job sounded like hard. And Shay was like, "Bitch, I love my job. I'm not finna fucking quit because what?" And she was like, "I need some water." Sam, people quenched their thirst talking to Sam. It wasn't a dry mouth in the house when Sam came around. Cause everybody, I need some water. I'm sorry, I so thirsty. I need some water. Ooh, Sam was killing me. He put poor Alex. He put her to sleep. They was on the swing talking, and he was just monotone. And, yeah, yeah, I think when you love someone, you should really pursue them and go after them. And Alex just nodded the fuck off. She went to sleep. And then Alex, so sweet. Afterwards, she blamed herself. She was like, "Well, I just fall asleep real easy." No, that wasn't on you, Alex. He was bored. He really was. Like everyone. He couldn't talk to any of them because they were all at a different, basically, energy level than him. He was like down here and they were up here. I think was it Alex that said his energy level was low and everyone else's was up high. So he just didn't fit. And it was just, I don't know, like Sam, this ain't the show for him. Because he was just he was going slow. But the rules of the show say you gotta go fast. Denise and California on the swing. This when she put her damn feet on him. And they were talking about, he asked her, is she hard on the outside and soft? Well, she said she is. She said she's soft on the inside, hard on the outside. Because she's been in abusive relationships before. So she got that barrier up, that shell up. But once you get to know her and get, like, she's a really soft person. But, she like, don't play with me, though. Because she'll fuck you up. You can see that because she is very rough. She's like, she not playing, she not joking, she not in a happy mood. Even when she's talking to the other ladies, she's like smiling and all that, but you can kind of feel her energy is like, no, like, she's like, I'll choke your ass out. Like, she is just like she's not violent, but she's not friendly. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Like, she doesn't seem like a very violent person, but she doesn't seem like she's really friendly with everybody. Like, she don't really get along with too many people. And she don't really deal or socialize with a lot of people. She's real reserved. So I can see that. What's his name? Raymond. Raymond old ass. Whew. Raymond, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what he think he's doing. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know. You ever seen somebody just fuck up? Raymond is fucking up at a high rate of speed. He doing everything you're not supposed to do. His old ass is sitting here. He talking like an old man. Well, that's how we do. Cause I'm back in the day now. He talk like he don't look old. He talks old. He missing his goddamn teeth. All he got is the ones in the front. These side bitches gone. He got the ones in the front though. Motherfuckers on the side have just left. He got an old man mouth. And he talk old. And it's like he say shit that he think gonna work. It don't work. Like he's telling people like, he was telling ladies, I got 5 kids. And every woman went back like, damn, like 5 fucking kids? That's a hurdle right there. But then he's talking about, I'm a musician. I play guitar. I'll be touring with, some guys you heard of, like Tank and Genuine. And the ladies are all like, okay, shit, like, all right. And then they were like, well, Genuine and Tank some hoes. Like, is you out there hoeing with him? And this dumbass is like, yep, I'll be out there hoeing right along with him. I mean, hey, that's why I got 5 kids. It was like, what the fuck is you doing, Raymond? And like him and Sam was just, woo. He had them drowning. Goddamn, everybody I needs to go get. They was fucking drowning talking shit. still dipping their heads in goddamn swimming pools. They did not want to mess with Raymond. Oh no. Him and like the 5 kids is enough. How you gonna have say I got 5 kids? I'm a musician. I tour with Tank and Genuine, and I'll be out there with them, sleeping with all these groupies and all these fans and stuff. Who is that gonna appeal to? What woman gonna be like, this speaks to me? Nobody. Why do you keep doing it, right? One woman did not blow him off. Adriana, the youngest one now. She sat and talked and was like, oh, I understand. That's fine. Yeah, I get it. You young ass child, you better leave this old motherfucker alone. But she's sweet. Adriana is sweet. Adriana was the best woman there. Her and Danny were like the best two there. Because Danny got along with everyone, and Adriana was very attentive. She listened to everyone there. She was kind to them. She didn't get rude with anyone. She was just soft-spoken. She was the most, like, all the guys enjoyed her company because she was the one that she was engaging. She didn't talk about herself. She really wanted to know more about them, which is attractive and appealing. But with Raymond old ass, she could have just been like, yeah, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go get some water. Because talking to him was a waste of time. But she was like, listen to him. Why are you listening to him? He don't. Moving on. Danny is a breath of fresh air on this show. I like Danny. And all the guys like her too, because she was out of all the women there, she was like the most open. She made everybody laugh. Like all the guys were laughing and they were just hanging. They all loved her. It was a crowd around her whenever she was doing something, wherever she went, because she was fun. Like she was just fun. She was joking. She was just kicking it with everybody. So she made a great first impression on everybody. Everybody really liked her. They were just like, damn, I could just see me and Danny. Like they could see themselves how they could kick it with Danny outside. Like they wanted to know her beyond the show. Because they were all super friendly and they feel like, man, this is like my homegirl. Like we've known each other for years. That was not good for Danny. Rashid and Adriana, they knew each other. They went on a date before. Rashid was the tall, lanky dude that was married, got a 7-year-old son, and sell luxury cars. Rashid was they went on a date a couple years ago, and it was right after Rashid got divorced, and right after Adriana had broken up with her last boyfriend. So it was like, she said it was like a month for her and it was like 2 months for him. And she ghosted him. She was like, I just never called him back. I never talked to him again or anything. And he didn't mind. He was like, it's fine. He said, I wasn't ready to be dating anyway. And she was like, I wasn't either. So they got together. They were talking about it. Like, he like, what happened? And she was like, I just wasn't ready. And I didn't know how to tell you that. He was like, it's fine. I wasn't ready. I had just got divorced. She was like, yeah. So they looked past that and they was just like, let's try this again. When now they were both at a point where we're ready to do something. So that was good for them. I like that. That nobody had an attitude, nobody was angry or hurt. They were just like, we wasn't ready at that time. And they seemed like they got along great. Adriana she is getting along great with everyone. Because she's the younger, except the women. They're not feeling her. Tommy shows up and Tommy asks, and he goes around, he's asking all the ladies, what guys you like and what guys you don't like. And they all like Cal Funny. They don't like Sam and they don't like Raymond. Which was yeah, you can see that. And there's nobody else that really comes up. It was like they're all like, he asked them who you feeling and who you not. So they all list like, oh, this is the person at the top, and it's like Cal Funny for everybody. And at the bottom was Raymond and Sam. And then he goes and he asks the dudes, like, who you feeling? And for the dudes, it was a little bit more mixed up because some of them wasn't feeling Simone. Some of them wasn't feeling Danny. Some of them wasn't feeling Denise. But some of them was. Like, it was Denise was like a real split. Some of the guys were like California were like, I like a lot of them. Anthony, California, they like Denise. They like her aggressiveness and her tone, her demeanor. And you had other guys that didn't really feel like, they feel like, she was real intimidating. She was like aggressive and just rude shit. And Simone, they like, she interrogates people. She's rude. They say she's a lawyer, so you can kind of overlook it some. Because once you learn that she's a lawyer, so you kind of look past it like, oh, that's just how she is. And just more, you can accept it more. But that don't mean they're going to accept it for like long. And at the end, they eliminate Sam as the guy. Yeah, Sam didn't belong here. Sam, he don't belong on a dating show. Sam is a guy that it takes time to get to know him, to get to like him. Because he said himself, he doesn't flirt. He don't spit game. It's the long sessions for him to find romance, to find love. So he had no business being here. I think he was ready for love, but he wasn't ready for love in this environment. And they left old man Raymond. Sam beat out old man Raymond because Raymond was the next up. And for the women, it came down to Simone and Danny. And I knew Simone was gone because she was just out of pocket. They got rid of Danny because all the guys said pretty much the same thing. Danny is too much like a homegirl. They didn't find her, I guess, appealing in like a relationship kind of way. They found her appealing like in, we can go hang out and kick it. Like, she can help me get girls, but I don't want to be with her. And that sucks because Danny was sweet. Danny was one of the best women on the show because she was real funny. She was attractive. She's beautiful, but you could kind of see it because, you would see like all the ladies hanging together and you see Danny with the dudes, like she kicking it with the guys. And she was just, I guess she was really just too good. They didn't want to, they would feel bad hurting her. So they were like, you got to go. That sucks for Danny. And then that was it, man. They were like, okay, the rest of y'all left. Danny and Sam gone. And I like how this show is being done. A lot of stuff I thought I was wrong about. And I like that. My first impression of the people was kind of off a lot. Some of them are better than I thought. Some of them are worse than I thought. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I really am. This episode really helped me look forward because I'm really curious on how the elimination is going to work. Because there's a reason to get rid of everybody, honestly. But there's a reason that everybody can stay. So I just want to see how this plays out. Who I think gonna be eliminated next is old ass man Raymond. He does not belong here. And the only woman that's even talking to him is Adriana. So I don't know how he gonna stay. I don't know. I really don't see how he stayed. Now, because everybody was bored with Sam, they was just turned the hell off by Raymond. They were just turned away. Sam just bored and Raymond was just like, they were grossed out and uninterested. And I don't think he gonna make it past the next episode. If they eliminated, because I don't know, they eliminated 2 every episode, just 1 from now on. If it's me eliminated next week, it's definitely Raymond. Shit. If it's a woman, I can't think of one. I guess maybe Denise or Simone. But they promoting them real heavy. They in all the promo stuff. Them two. And I can't think of who's not. Like, it's women that are not in the promos, but they haven't done anything or had an attitude or anything where you can see they're being eliminated. So I'm just curious about that. But hey, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment down in the comment section to clear up some confusion that I have about stuff. Because there's lots of I really don't understand. I'm be confused about because I'm not in the streets. I ain't out there in the dating world. I and is the go get some water? Is that a thing? Because I've never heard that before. So just tell me what you think, and I'll be back next week with episode 3. Thank you.